Hi there, and welcome to another Cigar Advisor Cigar Review panel, Cigar Review. I'm Gary Korb, Executive Editor for CigarAdvisor.com, and today we've got something really special. It's the Aganorsa Leaf Famous Smoke Shop 80th Anniversary Cigar. Yes, sir, we are really looking forward to smoking this one, and let's get right to it by introducing our very talented review panel. Still recovering from his charisma transplant. Say hello to Jared Gulick, internet personality and former obstetrician to Meghan Markle. It's Tommy Z-Man, everybody. And he's known for being a wise investor back from his timeshare condo in Caracas, Venezuela. It's John Pulo.
Buy low, sell high.
Okay, so we are smoking the Aganorsa Leaf Famous Smoke Shop 80th Anniversary Cigar. And as you know, last month we reviewed the Romeo House of Capulet 80th Anniversary Cigar. This is the second in the 80th Anniversary series for Famous. And it is made in Nicaragua by Aganorsa Leaf. And it is a 6x52 box press. It's also box press. So you get the nice tapered head on it and the box pressing. It's got a Mexican San Andreas wrapper, which we like. Filler and binder is proprietary Nicaraguan Aganorsa grown on their farms, and it's rolled in only one size, this Toro Marblehead.
What?
I've never heard of a Toro Marblehead. Toro Marblehead.
It's like when they make it a Bellicoso, but they want to call it a Toro.
Maybe it's from Massachusetts. I don't know. But it's really
like
nice. It looks more like a Bellicoso. It's kind of a cross between a Toro and a Belly. So it's presented in boxes of 10 cigars. Mm-hmm. You only get 10 cigars. And Tommy, what do you think a box of these will go for?
A box of these?
A box of 10, yeah. What do you think these are?
Toro Marbleheads. Yeah, the Toro Marbleheads. Well, basically the Toro Marblehead, it is just a Toro with a tapered head. So I like that, though, because you kind of cut off the taper, and you don't cut down too far on the cigar, so it's comfortable. I would guess because of just the construction and the look of this leaf, it's got to be about $125 a box. Yeah. I'm guessing.
And we've smoked samples.
Yeah, so but I don't know what they go for per box.
Well, they're under $100 a box.
Oh,
That's
really?
MSRP.
Okay, that's pretty good.
About $9.50 for a single MSRP. And you can buy these only at famous-smoke.com. It's Famous Smoke Shop online, and it'll probably be a lot less than $99.50. So that's a pretty good deal. Right?
I think so.
All right.
Definitely.
So we've been smoking the cigar now for a little bit. You each got, Tommy and John seem to have about an inch or so. Do you remember anything about the pre-light flavor? Like, what did you get before you lit it up?
I did.
Okay, John,
I'll tell you what, it's very rare that I get excited about pre-light. Mm-hmm. When it comes to flavor, half the time you don't even stop to think about having it register with your mind. Mm. But I'll tell you what, this time, like I said, it's very rare that I get excited about it, but this was one of those times.
Really?
Very sweet. This savory, sweet tobacco flavor, kind of like dried fruit, think raisins.
Yes.
And,
okay.
a little nutty, I would say, too.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Yeah.
I mean, it was almost like you hope it stays that good when you smoke it.
Mine was like molasses, between molasses and raisins, so I'm definitely getting what you're getting.
Interesting.
Okay.
How about you, Tom?
I didn't really take notice of the pre-light flavor. And normally I do, though.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, because I remember I talked to Jose Blanco about it at length, because I did a one-on-one fan mail video on pre-light, but just for this one, I didn't. But I did want to talk about the construction to start.
Okay, well, we can get to that. I just wanted to say I was kind of in your camp. I didn't pay real close attention to it, but I did get kind of a salty taste and a leathery taste.
Well, I remember mine was a little earthy. I remember the last couple that I had, but the sweetness John says is definitely there.
Yeah,
that's
I taste
there
it
through the
now.
whole smoke.
So let's talk about the construction. What do you think?
Well, I mean, you could see it's beautifully box pressed. I mean, and we talk about the term coin stack ash, where it looks like a stack of almost dimes or nickels, and the smoke is coming out of here perfectly. As far as construction, absolute perfect balance of the construction all the way through. And I've smoked a few of these already, and we'll talk about how this intensifies, but really well made, extremely well made.
Jared?
Yeah, I agree. It's very well made, and if you actually take a look and go around a cigar, you can't even see the seams.
Yeah, it's real tight, yeah.
That well rolled.
Tight in terms of
Same thing with the
seamless,
cap.
yeah.
I love how oily the wrapper is.
I do too.
Beautiful sheen on it, you know?
Yeah. John, how
I
about you?
like that it's neatly box pressed. Mine, actually, every sample I've had, and this is probably number 4, number 5
Yeah.
at this point.
We smoked half a box.
I was going to say, for a limited edition cigar, I think we smoked like a half the supply. Just 'cause
It's
we,
only
you know,
247 bucks.
Yeah, we're down
Yeah,
at 247 boxes now out of
250 boxes, that, you know.
Yeah, agree, the shimmering with the fair amount of oils, nice even Maduro color, agree, nice sharp box press.
Yeah.
But if you look closely at the San Andre wrapper, a nice bit of raised tooth to it.
Okay.
That even when it's burning, you can see the little pockets of oils, after they've burned, they show up in the ash. So the tooth is very apparent. And you get some of that extra savory flavor from the oils that are in those pockets.
I think
from the fermentation.
John, I think it looks like a Padron 26. I mean, I think if you took the bands
It
off
almost does, you're right.
If you took the
think so?
bands off
Yeah.
because those have the same color, the shimmeringness.
Yep.
Shimmeringness, I don't know. And the
Shimmerosity?
and the slight
We're editors,
toothiness.
ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. The 26 has that slight toothiness to it too. So
Yeah.
if you took the bands off, you would think it was that,
You might be able to pass it off.
except for that Marblehead.
Yeah, look at him talking all like he knows what a Marblehead is.
Hell yeah.
Well,
yeah,
I'm from Jersey.
Talk
bitches.
about it all the time.
I got to agree.
You know the Marblehead.
To you, a Marblehead's a restaurant on 22.
Oh, yeah, the Marblehead grill. The ash is nice and compact. I agree with the oiliness and the construction. I also like the way they did the cap. I think it seemed like, well, I cut it now, but I think it was like a 4-seam cap. You know, they just kind of like did that. Jared and I always talk about how many seams are on this. I never can figure it
Yeah,
out.
we're nerds about that. We're like, oh, how many turns?
We like that. I
How
don't
many
know.
turns?
So let's talk about the draw and like what you're getting out of the cigar at this early stage. My draw is perfect. The smoke's coming out right through the chute. How about you, John?
Excellent. I was going to say, of all the samples, there was one that maybe was a little tighter, but you'll find, especially with box press cigars, you smoke them a little bit, the heat gets in, the tobaccos relax, and the smoke gets flown, and it does ease up nicely. But on the whole, well made, and pretty much every sample I've smoked has been a nice clear draw.
And I think the box press helps that a little bit. I think that shape,
Yeah.
especially, me, I'm a V-cut whore, but, between...
And you did
between-
V-cut that, yes.
Yeah, so I did V-cut it, if you can see it there. I V-cut it, and then on top of that with the box press, the smoke's very cool. So I really like it. Very good draw.
Tommy.
Great draw. I mean, perfect draw on this. Same too. I probably had 4 or 5 of these. I had one that was a little tight, but then it straightened itself out, like John said. But these are great. And but right off the bat, every single one of these I got cedar, and everybody I think got something a little different. But every single one of these I got a cedar. I've got that sweetness taste on the palate. That's what I'm getting right off the bat.
See, that's the thing, though. That sweetness, especially since it was so noticeable in the pre-light. It's one of those where it doesn't stick around. At least it didn't for me. And I've noticed that on a couple of different these. Pretty soon after you light it, a lot of that molasses flavor that you talked about kind of goes away. That raisin-like sweetness for me kind of went away. It was replaced with more of a cedar, a little bit of a coffee flavor, and that saltiness that Gary was talking about. Gary's saltiness,
Yes.
kind of
Very
percolated
salty
to the
today.
surface pretty quickly. So it took on more of a darker tone pretty quickly. But I mean,
No, I agree. I was getting, I'm still getting some of that saltiness. I got a little nuttiness at first, more nuts, and some black pepper up front, which rounded out nicely. It's just about rounding out now. It takes about half to an inch to really have that pepper.
Yeah.
But it does have this nice, long, spicy finish that kind of lingers on the palate for a long time. I described it as more like what you might have a cinnamon candy. And the candy's sweet and all, but you get that cinnamon remnant on your palate.
I think it's almost like we talked about this.
Yeah.
It's almost like hot sauce.
Or hot sauce, yeah.
So you're eating wings or something with hot sauce on it, and
Right.
it's the burn goes away, but you still have that raw kind of tingling feeling.
Yeah, exactly.
On your lips or on the tip of your tongue. That's, some of the different savory spots that hit you around the palate, and that rawness is still kind of there. You can kind of feel that peppery burn because it lays down this thick stripe of I don't know if it's spice or pepper, whatever it is, but pretty much right out of the gate, just paints a stripe right across. In addition to some of those, and that's why I say it takes on that dark character with the cedar and that coffee, and that coffee kind of becomes more apparent, I think, as time goes on.
Yeah.
See, for me, I'm not actually getting that coffee. I was
Really?
Yeah, I was telling you before, molasses and the raisin. So they're still there for me, but they're more on the finish.
Okay.
And now, once it settles in, like around about here, actually, with all the samples I've had, it gets kind of buttery. It's almost like buttery for me.
It is very creamy. That's
Yeah.
true.
John,
Almost
I think
like
the other
savory butter.
the other day when you were saying coffee to me, I was like coffee bean. That's what it's more like.
Hardcore coffee bean.
Yeah, like when you if you open up like a bag of coffee beans and stick your nose in and take a deep whiff, and you kind of get that taste on the back of your tongue on your palate, that comes in for me about the third the way through, a third to a half point, and it comes in pretty solid, like you were saying.
That's the thing, because we'll kind of jump ahead a little bit here and spoil it a bit for you. That's the sweet spot.
Yeah.
Right there.
There you go.
Halfway. Once halfway comes along, it just takes on, and for me, those coffee beans that you were talking about, big, thick, rich helping of coffee beans. It gets very meaty. It turns a little bit peppery. The cedar wood gets very intense. The smoke is still buttery and complex to a point, but that's the thing. It's those enjoyable flavors, and then all of a sudden it takes this big flavorful turn that just accentuates all the cedar wood, the coffee, and that's where I think you'll notice it if you haven't yet.
And you know what? I hope I'm not jumping ahead, but when I retrohale, now when I retrohaled last time, that sweet cedar and that coffee intensifies. Like sometimes when I retrohale, now Gary, I know you do a lot when you want to really taste what's in the cigar.
Yeah.
Usually, if there's 4 or 5 elements of the flavor profile, the retrohale kind of accentuates 1 or 2 of them really strong for me. And cedar and coffee, that it's like wicked wow, you know.
Well, I just retrohaled it, and I got more of like I'm still getting some of that pepper, but it wasn't like overpoweringly peppery.
It's just a little bit up in the
yeah,
back of the nose.
Yeah, it does round out. How about the aroma? Anybody
Smells like a
talk
cigar.
about that? It smells like a cigar.
See,
Exactly.
You were mentioning the cinnamon. That's where I get the cinnamon. Is in the aroma.
Really? That's
It's
interesting.
like it's not cinnamon, but it's kind of like remnants.
What
So
kind
it's a
of
spicy
cinnamon?
aroma.
Sim-
Yeah,
cinnamon?
Yeah, I call it sharp.
Sure.
Something like
Okay.
that, but
I thought it was a a little more grainy, like think cereal grain.
interesting.
But that's like think of like if
Now you're making me hungry.
wheat, not wheat, because me and my fields of wheat. But if you ever go somewhere and you see like a field and it's not grass, they're actually growing something. That's
Right.
kind of that dry kind of smell.
Okay.
Cereal,
All right. Anyone else?
Oats.
The aroma?
honey oats.
Honey. Okay. Anyone else retrohale it besides Tommy and me?
Yeah.
Today. Or how about you? Did you get anything?
I actually get a little bit more of that. See, I think it's not the molasses and raisin as much on the retro for me, but I agree with him on the dried fruit on the retrohale. It's got that dried fruit, almost like, if I could be pretentious a little bit and say trail mix.
That's pretentious.
I don't know, that
You know what I
would-
mean? Like you get
Jesus.
the dried
You
fruit.
get the
trail mix,
M&Ms,
like
you get
that
the
kinda-
pistachios,
Not
you get
M&Ms
the-
and nuts and stuff. Just the fruit. The fruit,
All right.
aspect.
Okay.
All right, how
Kinda
about-
Yeah,
see it.
but I think we talked about this cigar the other day, and I said that halfway point, as John says, is where stuff really
Yeah,
opens up. I also got dried fruit. I got like almost like a real black cherry or like a dark plum, and it's not. When I say that, again, we always say it's what the taste on your palate reminds you of, and it had that kind of taste to it, and
So you took a kind of a different flavor turn than at halfway.
yeah,
You just kind of went in the other direction.
But I still get the cedar all the way through, so
Right.
that's why I think this cigar is complex. And a more experienced cigar smoker's palate will pick that up and pick up those changes. So if you are a little more experienced, you're really going to like this cigar a lot.
So did you say it's well balanced?
Oh, extremely well balanced.
Yeah, I think so, too.
Because you can pick out the flavors and they're not fighting each other. Sometimes a cigar has a lot going on in it, and it might be a 6-country blend and stuff is fighting. Not this one. You especially like I said, if you're a little more experienced, you can really taste what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, it's just real smooth and creamy, which is what I like, and it's very full flavored. It's definitely full-bodied. I think we'd agree on that.
Oh, yeah,
right?
it's full body.
Yeah, medium strength, but full
Yeah, it's not strong. No, it's not strong.
flavor.
full
It's not
flavor.
overpowering.
Very full flavor.
It's,
a lot
yeah,
going
it's
on.
definitely full
it's,
flavor.
it's got some, you know, it's there,
Yeah,
but it's not taking you down.
I agree. About the burn, the burn has been pretty good
great.
for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Mine's just a little bit off, but the other two samples that I've smoked was kind of like what Jared's got going there. You know, I wonder if sometimes the way you cut it, you know, has something to do with the burn, you know, as well.
It's definitely possible. I mean, mine also, we were commenting on this before we started filming, so my cigar actually has been in, I bought a box, so my cigar has been in the humidor for a little while. It's actually lost a little bit of its edge on the box press. So that actually might contribute to how it's burning as well. Because I noticed that Parejos tend to have less problems burning straight than box pressed.
So you bought a box,
Yes.
and we smoked at least a couple of boxes. So we're down to 246 something like boxes.
246 boxes.
Better jump on this. Start going fast. Anyway, what I liked about the cigar is it wasted little time rounding out, and everything's been very consistent. It does have some nice change-ups to it. I'm thinking, I'm pulling the base flavors, kind of some earthiness, which is natural with a lot of Nicaraguan tobacco. That spice, that nice spiciness going on. Some salt and pepper, because I'm still getting some saltiness on this, and kind of woody too. Some kind of nice mix of wood, sweetness and spice, and there's a lot going on.
That's Aganorsa tobacco, man.
Yeah.
You know, good, solid Nicaraguan character.
amazing.
That's why a lot of folks turn to these guys to help or to provide some of the tobaccos for their blends. If they're adding a Nicaraguan component to it, it's a boutique company and they have their own lines of cigars. But really, you probably smoke more Aganorsa tobacco than you think.
Oh,
Yeah,
Just because they're so involved with other cigar manufacturers and helping source some excellent estate-grown tobaccos.
Yeah.
And it just so happens, and not just because they did an 80th cigar for us,
Right.
but because they make good stuff, so we're very high on Aganorsa as a whole.
yeah.
yeah.
Eduardo Fernandez started the company in 1996, and all the people that grow, cure, and harvest, the tobacco are all from Cuba. He went to Cuba, and he brought these guys over, and they're all like top of their craft. So that's another reason why you're getting some really good tobacco out of these guys, because they really know what they're doing. Jared, you're about one third in. Tommy, how are you doing over there?
Maybe a little more.
So you're
Than
about
usual.
almost
halfway.
halfway. Almost
So is it really opening up?
Well,
like John
what
said?
every one of these I had, what opens up is the smoke, the amount of smoke. It must be the box pressed, but every single one, when I got to the halfway point, all of a sudden more smoke billowed out and become a very fuller mouthfeel. So,
Yeah.
nice, real
Yeah,
nice.
the smoke is it's what they call dense. It's dense. Yeah, it's got that nice volume to it.
But did anybody else notice that? I mean, this cigar opens up,
Oh yeah.
It's very, very good smoke.
Just
which
like,
affects the
wow.
taste. So it opens up more of that dark fruit, more of that coffee. We said coffee bean. It's almost like espresso now, like a dark, that little shot of almost tiny bit of bitterness, or almost like you would a bitter dark chocolate. That just kind of hit me. I
It's
don't know if
interesting
anybody
'cause-
else is getting it.
Yeah, I'm not getting coffee. I haven't gotten coffee on any of my
I'm getting
samples.
coffee only because I'm drinking coffee.
But no, for real, Jared, you don't drink coffee.
No.
So that's why you wouldn't get coffee, I don't think, on that.
Maybe.
No, I
I mean,
really,
know-
wouldn't
why-
you
why-
agree?
Why do you
I
say that?
have.
If he doesn't drink coffee, why would he get coffee? Because, like
He
I
knows-
said,
Well, I have
but like,
consumed it.
no, I know you have. But what I'm saying is, like, we drink it all the time, the three of us, and so what the hell's so funny?
Go ahead.
No, I'm done here.
Continue.
Please. The three of us drink coffee.
I'm taking my little.
No,
Taking my wagon home.
I'm just thinking to myself, I just like cocaine because of the way it smells. I just don't do it all the time.
What? Okay, dokie.
For the record,
How about
I do.
that? You consume cocaine too?
No. For the record, I know what coffee tastes like.
No, I didn't say you
I
don't.
have
had
consumed coffee. It's just not my preference. It's just
You
not my
don't
preference.
consume coffee on a regular basis.
certainly knows what
This is
coffee
my
smells
point.
like.
And tastes like.
Right.
But we consume it on a regular basis, and my point was that we always talk about this, that when we say we taste notes of this and that, that confuses some people, especially some more beginners that don't taste those things in there, and we know it takes a while to develop your palate, but the things we say we taste are what reminds us of. It reminds us of, and like John and I were saying, that dark coffee bean, or that, like I'm getting almost like espresso now. But I think if I didn't consume coffee a lot, which I drink 3 cups a day maybe I wouldn't get coffee as much.
Okay, all right.
That was kind of my
probably
point.
fair. I just wanted
Now that I've
to
been
show
ridiculed,
this.
chastised.
Fair game, brother.
Yeah,
I want to show this ash because the ash is absolutely amazing. I'm not a long ash guy, but I'm just letting this go just to show how firm it is, and it's pretty.
So you're a
consistent in
firm ash
color.
guy.
I'm a firm ash guy. I like the firm ash.
He rolls his
kinda
ash. You
rolling
guys
it.
know that?
Yeah, oh, there it goes.
There it
Oh.
goes.
Oh well, bye. So, are we ready to wrap this up?
I think so.
All right, final thoughts, Tommy Z-Man.
This is, you know what? Like, you know how I said how it looks like a Padron 26 if you took the bands off? I'm wondering if you took the band off and handed it to somebody and said, here's a Padron 26, what they would think. It's not exact
think
same
it is,
flavor profile, you know, and maybe that would be suggestive, but all I'm trying to say is I think this is a very, very high-end cigar at a very, very good price. And Aganorsa is growing great tobacco, making great cigars, and I've smoked enough of these now to say, yeah, I'm going to smoke more till we get down to no boxes. This is a great cigar.
Yeah. I
See,
think
I
they're
wouldn't
gonna-
think it's
yeah.
Padron because I get coffee notes on Padron.
Really?
Padron is known actually for having a coffee.
Oh, yeah, coffee,
Yeah,
cocoa.
That's kind of the thing.
John?
I say that this is a connoisseur cigar, not because it's ours
Right.
and was made
No.
specially for our anniversary, not because it's special limited, but because of some of the flavors we've been talking about.
Yeah, definitely.
The coffee, the espresso, the raisin, the molasses, right? I think that the flavors of the cigar seem very reactive to what you're eating or drinking with it. And so, for instance, I think the sweetness is much more apparent after a meal for whatever reason.
Interesting.
It just seems to bring that out. So if you're the type of person who pairs cigars with food or drink, I think you'll find it even more of a connoisseur, epicure kind of Epicurean kind of experience. And connoisseur cigar, I will overuse this word as much as I
Okay.
possibly can in the next 30 seconds. Connoisseur cigar, though it may be, I don't think you have to be one to enjoy it.
No.
You just have to be a little quick on the uptake because, as we said, there are now 246 boxes remaining.
Right, exactly.
So you don't have to be a pro to smoke a good cigar, and it's a good cigar at a good price point. So even if you don't consider yourself an expert, worth chasing while you can to see what a really good Nicaraguan smoke tastes like.
So I totally agree with John, and it's definitely worth its price. It's a higher end cigar, up market, if you want to call it that, and it's up there with all the other good stuff that it's out there. And I just wanted to let you know that there are only 250 boxes that were made of this cigar, and they are available at famous-smoke.com. So grab one as soon as you can, and I really think you're going to enjoy it. Don't forget to watch Cigar Advisor live on Facebook every Wednesday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram, and of course, our website, cigaradvisor.com. So thank you for watching. Thank you guys, and happy smokes.